Alright guys, this is going to be my first review for a 2015 release film. It's pretty exciting. We got a new year, a fresh new start. But never forget guys, it's January. So we gotta deal with a bunch of crap before we get to the good stuff. And yeah, this movie's really not that different. Anyway, hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another movie review. Guys, I just finished watching this newly released action film, which is the third film in this film's franchise, because for some reason we needed 3 of these movies. Why? Because of money. But anyway, guys, in this video I am going to be reviewing Taken 3, or Take 3 In? Take 3 In? See that on the poster? You guys see that right there? Take 3 In. Oh boy. I love how they did that with the E. That is stupid. But anyway, guys, yes, Taken 3 is the third film in the Liam Neeson starring Taken franchise. If you guys don't already know my opinions on the first 2 Taken movies, I'm going to quickly sum them up right here. Taken 1, have it on Blu-ray, one of the best action thrillers, possibly one of my favorite action thrillers ever made. Liam Neeson was a badass. It was smart. It was entirely thrilling. I loved the first Taken. Taken 2, which I also have on Blu-ray, but before you kill me in the comments, I got this for $10, which is the only reason why I have it. Taken 2, major letdown, terribly edited and not that well directed at all. It's just dumb and just completely unnecessary. Now we have Taken 3. The third film in the franchise, and it's from the same guy who directed Taken 2, Olivier Megaton. Olivier Megaton, and it's coming out in January, mind you. Taken 2 came out in October at least, so that led most of us to believe, oh, it's going to be a great movie. It wasn't. But Taken 3 knows that it's not going to be a great movie, and it's coming out in January, which is not a good thing, because this is the month where Hollywood dumps all the crap in the theaters. And we gotta deal with it for another couple weeks, guys. I'm sorry. I feel bad. But, what are we going to do? So, Taken 3, guys. Hopefully this is the last one. The poster says it's all over. I hope it's all over. But yeah, yes, guys, Taken 3, getting into the plot behind the movie, again follows the story of ex-CIA spy Bryan Mills, played by Liam Neeson, everyone's favorite badass. And in this movie, after a completely unexpected death happens to somebody close in Liam Neeson's family, Bryan Mills' family, somebody is murdered, and Bryan Mills is framed for this said murder. So he goes on the run. He's going into hiding from the cops who are hunting him down. And what he is trying to do is get to the bottom of this, find out who murdered this person in his family. And he needs to keep his remaining family members safe, because the men who did this are probably going to go after them, and he's got to get to the bottom of this. And that, my friends, is Taken 3. That is the premise. And I'll never forget, guys, when I watched the trailer for Taken 3, I said to myself, okay, it looks like they could actually do something with this, okay? The plot looked smart. It looked a lot different from the first 2 Taken movies. Granted, this movie shouldn't even be called Taken 3. I know it has the same characters, but nobody actually gets taken in this movie. You can argue a few moments, oh, look, Liam Neeson, he's getting arrested. Oh, he's getting taken into custody, so that counts. You can argue that the person that dies was taken away from Liam Neeson's, his character's life, so that you could argue that, but in a sense, nobody is kidnapped in this movie. So, again, this series is entirely reminiscent of the Hangover series. It really is. The first one of both movies, The Hangover and Taken, were great. Great movies, 2 of my favorite movies in comedy and in the genres of comedy and thriller. Hangover Part 2, major disappointment, an exact carbon copy of the first Hangover. Same thing with Taken 1 and 2. Now we have Taken 3 and the Hangover Part 3. Hangover Part 3, slightly better than Hangover 2. And, but it has absolutely, nobody got drunk, nobody got roofied in that movie. The title was worthless. Same thing could be said for Taken 3. No one gets taken or kidnapped, and maybe it's slightly better than Taken 2, but probably not that much better, because Taken 3, guys, is an utter disappointment, guys. What can I say? I shouldn't even call it a disappointment. Was anyone honestly expecting this to be a good movie? Anyone? I think the fact that, not even the fact that it was coming out in January, the fact that they got the same director to direct Taken 3, the same guy who did who did the second one, I knew it wasn't going to be good. I knew it was going to be flawed, and that's absolutely what it is. Taken 3 is just an absolute mess in terms of the writing, in terms of the editing, which this has got to be one of the most poorly edited films I've seen in a very long time. In terms of the direction, in terms of the laziness that the entire film crew had in this movie. I mean, it's just an utter shame that the first one was so good, and literally the second two movies they just shouldn't exist. It's an absolute shame. I'm so disgusted that the guy who directed the first one didn't come back for the 2 and 3, and it definitely shows, because these movies don't even touch the grace of the first one, and I don't think anybody was really expecting this to be better than the first one. Okay, was anyone really? Please let me know if you were. But yeah, guys, Taken 3. Wow, what a major disappointment. I don't have a lot of good things to say about the movie, honestly. I'm gonna get into my score shortly. I mean, what can I say about Taken 3? It's nice to see a new cast, or new actors in the cast. Of course, we have Liam Neeson replaying the role of Bryan Mills, and then Maggie Grace as the daughter, Kim, and then Famke Janssen as Lenny, his ex-wife. And then it's nice to see Forrest Whitaker make an appearance in the movie as the detective leading the investigation on Bryan Mills. But even he's kind of wasted in this movie. There's a scene where he literally sits down on a couch, rips a piece of a bagel off, puts it in his mouth, and then the detectives with him are like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Good bagel." Who wrote this, guys? Luc Besson wrote this, which is shot. He wrote the first one. The story was written. He came up with the first idea, the first one, and the characters, and now he wrote this. What a major step down, Luc Besson. Wow. But getting back to the cast, I mean, it's nice to see Liam Neeson back in this role. He's an absolute badass. And the one thing I do have a few things that were slightly redeemable about this film. Other than that, really, doesn't have much to be redeemed with. But one thing I did like about Liam Neeson's character in this movie, Bryan Mills, not only is he an absolute badass, and he absolutely shines in the third act when he takes out everyone he's got to take out. But the thing I liked about him, literally the first hour of the movie, he doesn't kill anyone, and it's not the badass Liam Neeson we're used to. That may or may not upset people. It didn't upset me, because the first half of the movie, we got to see the really intelligent side of Bryan Mills, and the fact that he's hiding from the cops and he's trying to leave little notes to his daughter so they can meet and he could tell her his plans. I thought those scenes were really exciting when the police were right on his tail. I thought those were really... I was really invested into those scenes, and I thought they were pretty cool. And then we get to see the Liam Neeson kicking action. So I like the direction the story went there. Other than that, this movie's an absolute mess, okay? But it was nice to see that side of Liam Neeson. We get to learn a little bit more of his past when Forrest Whitaker is summing up his past to the other cops or whatever. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And, I mean, other than the cast being good, or Liam Neeson's just overall presence, and the fact that this guy is such a badass, this movie really has nothing else going for it. Nothing else redeemable. There's about two really exciting scenes early on in the movie. Other than that, there's really nothing else this movie is going for. I think, again, with the premise it had, I think it could have been much better, but they didn't do anything with it. The writers and the director, Olivier Megaton, did not do anything with it. They made it the absolute most cliched, predictable, and just lazy thriller I've seen in a very long time. There's got to be at least 5 to 7 different cliches in this movie, and several predictable moments, okay? I mean, the final shot of the movie, guys, it was literally the final shot of Taken 2. Either they reused the same exact footage, or just reshot it on a different day. Which, regardless, it's a sin, because they're both the same ending, okay? It's lazy, guys. That is one of the big words I would use to describe this movie. It's just, it doesn't do anything fresh. It didn't do anything with the exciting premise it was given. Bryan Mills gets framed for murders on the run from the cops. They just didn't do anything with it, and that's ultimately why Taken 3 was a major disappointment. Even though I wasn't expecting much. in the end, guys, I'm going to go for a rating for Taken 3, 6.5 out of 10, or a D+. Like I said, there's a few redeeming things about the movie. I'm going to get into all the things I didn't like about the movie right now. But there's a few redeeming things with the movie. Again, Liam Neeson's overall presence. The guy's a badass. I liked seeing the dynamics of his character in this one. The intelligent side of him, and then the absolute badass side of him within the first halves of the film. The first half, you get to see his skill set, his mindset, and all the intelligent things he can pull off, all the surprises he pulls off, all the surprises he pulls off for the cops, and they're just completely like, wow, this guy's God, basically. And then in the second half, we get to see Liam Neeson kicking ass, which is what we love, and that's why you're going to pay that $10 for the ticket. But other than that, and other than the fact that there were a few exciting moments, namely one sequence set in a college that I thought was pretty interesting, everything else failed in this movie. I'm going to get into all of it now. The most upsetting aspect of this film is the poorly and shittily editing. Okay, the shit editing, okay? Because it's terrible, guys. This has to be one of the worst edited movies I've seen in such a long time. There are an absurd number of quick cuts and close-ups in all of the chase sequences. The first half of the movie, Liam Neeson's on the run from the cops. There are so many quick cuts and so many close-ups, you can barely pay attention to what is going on in the movie. That is the fault of Olivier Megaton's direction. He did not shoot the scenes properly, go for more wide shots, and that's the fault of the editors. They didn't hold on these scenes, on these shots long enough. There were so many quick cuts. There's just a rapid fire of shots lasting between half a second to a second long. You can barely see what's going on. It's so disorienting to the viewer. It's one of the most poorly edited movies I've seen in a very long time. The direction was absolutely just lazy, in my opinion. And the editing is just incoherent. You can hardly tell what's going on, and it's such a disappointment when you have the tools right in front of you to make this a really exciting action movie with excellent chase scenes, but they just failed. They just failed, guys. I'm sorry. Even the script was upsetting. Early on in the movie, Famke Janssen comes into Liam Neeson's house. You can tell your movie's gone off the deep end when you have this moment. This is an absolute sin. I can't wait till Cinema sins this movie on their channel. It's going to be awesome. They're going to have a field day with this movie. But she comes into Liam Neeson's house and she's like, oh, hi, I'm here for dinner. And he's like, oh, Lenny, hi. And then she's like, oh, your door was open. Your door was open? The most paranoid man on the face of the planet, ex-CIA spy Bryan Mills, who literally puts a GPS tracking device in his daughter's cell phone and tracks her every single movement, okay? We've seen that in the first two movies. The most paranoid man on this planet is going to leave his door open? What? Maybe that just annoyed me more than it probably annoyed you guys. It probably flew right over your head. You guys probably don't give a shit. I give a shit because that's not the character of Bryan Mills. They got all the characters wrong. There's so many predictable, dumb moments in this movie. Every cliche off the book. The final scene when you have one of the main bad guys, Liam Neeson's injured. Why isn't the guy going to shoot him? Why is Liam Neeson why is he letting Liam Neeson live? Why is he taunting him with words? Shoot Liam Neeson. He just took out all of your men. What are you doing? Okay, guys, it's just moments like that that just piss you off. Predictable, dumb, lazy, cliched written moments. And that is why I didn't enjoy Taken 3. There's some exciting moments, but there's really not much to be had after that. Oh, and the final shot of the movie, I don't know if I mentioned this, was literally reused, okay? It's the same thing that ended Taken 2. The same shot. I think they literally went back, used the same shot for the final shot of the movie. Okay? I mean, I don't know. Even the score didn't work, guys. When just you have a movie with so much potential, you have Liam Neeson, how do you fail? They did. And everything misfired. The score, the direction, the terrible editing. One of the worst edited movies I've seen in a while. And the writing. It just all backfired. And I'm glad this franchise is done, guys. Sorry if I got into a little rant. I'm sorry if you're fans of Liam Neeson. But I gotta be honest here. The movie was not that great. And I don't think I'm going to buy the third one on Blu-ray. I was really let down with it because it just could have been better, okay? Even though I didn't expect much. So, there you have it, guys. Taken 3, 6.5 out of 10, or a D+. Or a D, whatever it is. I would recommend this movie to Liam Neeson fans. If you like the second one, I think you'll like this. If you like the first one but hated the second one, avoid this at all costs. It's not for you guys. It's not. It's just a mess, and it's not a good movie. point blank. But if you just like seeing Liam Neeson kick ass, go see it. Why not? I don't recommend you see it, though. It was disappointing. So, guys, there you have it. What did you guys think of Taken 3? Please let me know down below in the comments, guys. I'd really appreciate it. And thanks so much for watching my videos, as always. I'll see you guys in my next review. We got to get through January, guys. Stay strong. I'll see you guys later. Bye.